controversial influencer Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
At first, it all seems harmless, welcoming, a brotherhood, a movement, a chance to escape the ordinary.
Anymore. And I'm happy to announce that today is the day where I have my last day at school. I'm officially a 17-year-old high school dropout.
You're not just buying a course or joining a program, you're stepping into a world where success is promised.
You don't need to go to school to get started in sales. There's no degree.
And the only thing holding you back is your own mindset. They don't tell you what it really is. They just say, come to an event, join the network, learn the secrets of the rich.
You've turned over billions, but I don't think you've got a net worth of $1 billion.
I have $1 billion company, which I own 100% mine. I own it.
Before you know it, you're in deep, recruiting, promoting, selling the dream. But what exactly are you selling? And if this isn't a pyramid, then what is?
Your marriage failed, your fault. Your business failed, your fault. You got a knee injury that meant you couldn't play tennis for 6 months, your fault. Whatever it is, it's your fault.
When the opportunity is dangled in front of you like a golden ticket, when they tell you that financial freedom is closer than you think, that wealth is just a mindset shift away, why would you refuse? Because by the time you start questioning, you've already bought in.
People going to their jobs, and to be honest, these people have probably worked so much harder than I have. And that's the truth of it. And I'm also not afraid to admit that. I hate this whole thing online of like, you just need to work harder. You just need to work harder. It's like, okay, well then why is it that a lot of the hardest working people never get compensated accordingly to how hard it is they work?
It starts with a promise. Escape the matrix. Achieve financial freedom. Live life on your terms. It's seductive, especially to young men desperate for a way out of their dead-end jobs, out of their mundane lives, out of the feeling that they're losing. Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi sell different versions of the same dream. Tate's world is one of fast cars, beautiful women, and dominance. Gadzhi's is about online hustling, a digital escape from the rat race. But at their core, both build their brands on one fundamental belief. If you're not rich, it's your fault. The entry point is always low risk. A course, a membership, a community. It feels exclusive, like you're part of something bigger. But then, the upselling begins, and that's when the trap closes.
Always been that way for you and me, my friend, and that's what they're most jealous of. It's the fact that you and I have something that most people don't have, which is genuine brotherhood, and that's what they fear most, when you have men who have aligned principles, who respect those principles more than life itself. That's what they're afraid of.
It doesn't happen all at once. No one joins a cult knowingly. It starts subtly, almost innocently. A YouTube video, a flashy ad, a podcast clip that resonates. A charismatic figure speaks with confidence, telling you exactly what you want to hear. You're being lied to. The system is rigged against you. Your teachers, your parents, society, they want you weak. It's a powerful hook, and it's not entirely wrong. The world does feel unfair, and for young men struggling with their identity, their purpose, their finances, it's intoxicating. Finally, someone is giving them the truth. But this is where the manipulation begins. The first thing cults do, they separate you from the outside world. Not physically, but mentally. The messaging is clear. You can't trust outsiders. Your family won't understand. Your friends are losers who will never escape the 9 to 5. Only the strong can handle the truth. It's subtle at first, a suggestion, a warning. But over time, it conditions you to view anyone outside of the group as an enemy. If your parents express concern, they're brainwashed. If your friends ask questions, they're jealous. The more you immerse yourself in the teachings, the more your identity changes. You start using their language, adopting their beliefs. You begin to look down on people who aren't part of it. You start feeling superior. Once isolation is in place, the next step is creating an enemy. Every cult needs a villain, someone to fight against. In Tate's world, it's the Matrix, a shadowy system designed to keep men weak and broke. In Gadzhi's world, it's the traditional path. College, jobs, a life of mediocrity. They make you believe you're in a war, and the only way to win is to follow them. If you're not with us, you're against us. The weak complain, the strong take action. Anyone who criticizes us is just proving we're right. This does two things. First, it makes their teachings immune to criticism. If you question anything, you become the problem. Second, it creates a sense of belonging. You're part of the resistance now, and that's a powerful thing to walk away from. Now that you're emotionally invested, they introduce the next layer, proof. But here's the catch. It's selective proof. They flood you with testimonials, screenshots of massive earnings, Videos of young men who escape the system thanks to their guidance. It looks undeniable. Look at all these people winning. But what you don't see, the failure rate, the hundreds who lost money and walked away, the survivorship bias, only showing success stories while burying the rest, the illusion of wealth, renting luxury cars, filming in Airbnbs, and staging a lifestyle that doesn't exist. And if you don't succeed, it's your fault. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't follow the steps correctly. You still have a weak mindset. This is where the real damage happens, because instead of blaming them for selling a false dream, people blame themselves. And the deeper they fall, the harder it is to leave. There's a reason cults ask for money. Once you pay, you're emotionally invested. Tate's Hustlers University starts at a low cost, but as you climb the ranks, more expensive opportunities appear. Gadzhi's agency Navigator offers a roadmap, but the upsells never stop. The more you spend, the harder it is to admit you were wrong. Psychologists call this the sunk cost fallacy. The more time and money you pour in, the less likely you are to walk away. It's a mind trap, and they know it. At some point, you realize something strange. Making money in these programs isn't just about learning a skill, it's about bringing in more people. Inside Hustlers University, students were encouraged to promote Tate's courses, because referrals meant commissions. The more people they recruited, the more they earned. But at what point does this stop being education and start becoming something else? If making money requires bringing in more people, is it really about financial freedom? Or is it just a pyramid scheme in disguise? For Gadzhi, the game is slightly different but follows the same playbook. You're taught to start a digital agency, but the real profits? They come from selling the dream to others, and if you try to leave, the messaging is clear. Enjoy being broke, go back to being a sheep. We'll see you back here when you fail. By now, most members are too deep to quit, because quitting means admitting the truth. They were played.
Today is the day where I have my last day at school. I'm officially the 17-year-old high school dropout. Every single night I would go to bed, rest my head on that pillow, and I would go, I'm gonna make $1 million this year.
On a day like today, how much would you make right now at this point in time?
In dollars, like $25,000.
Not everyone realizes they're in a cult. Some stay forever chasing the next lesson, the next tactic, the next product. But for those who do wake up, it's usually because of one thing: the results never come. They followed the steps, they put in the work, and yet nothing changed. That's when the questions start. And once the illusion cracks, it all comes tumbling down. But by then, they've already lost their money, their time, and in some cases, their identity. Because the final trick? These cults don't just sell a product, they sell a new version of you. And walking away means losing that too. The numbers are staggering. Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi aren't just making money, they're printing it. And the people funding their wealth? The very ones they claim to be helping. At the height of Hustlers University, Tate was pulling in an estimated $10 million per month. The course, priced at $49, had over 200,000 subscribers at its peak. That's nearly $10 million every month, before even factoring in his high-ticket programs like the War Room, which cost $5,000 to join. His net worth estimates vary wildly. Tate himself claims to be a billionaire. More conservative estimates put him around $10 to $50 million. But one thing is certain: his fortune was built on selling the dream of wealth, not necessarily delivering it. And now, his empire is under fire. Gadzhi's agency Navigator and IAG Media have raked in millions. His online courses, some costing thousands of dollars, promise students financial freedom through digital marketing. With an army of followers eager to replicate his success, Gadzhi has turned his personal brand into a $15 million to $80 million fortune. But like Tate, his critics are growing louder. The problem? Many students find that running a profitable agency isn't as easy as advertised. Some call his courses overpriced, outdated, or intentionally vague, leading to growing skepticism about how many people actually succeed versus how many just fund his success. Behind the polished Instagram photos and motivational speeches, reality looks different. Money and power come at a cost. And for these two, the backlash is getting harder to ignore. It started with his arrest in Romania. The charges? Human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group. The news exploded. He and his brother Tristan were held for months before being released under house arrest.
Sir Andrew Tate at his home in the Romanian capital, Bucharest. Tate is under house arrest and being investigated by Romanian prosecutors for accusations including rape, human trafficking and exploiting women, which he denies.
Now, while out on bail, the case is still open. And just when things couldn't get worse, a former girlfriend has sued him for assault. A lawsuit filed in March 2025 alleges physical abuse, adding yet another controversy to his already infamous reputation. The message is clear: Tate's empire is built on shaky ground. And with every new accusation, that ground gets even weaker.
I was scared to death. I was terrified that I might die. I was just terrified of him. I mean, he's a very wealthy, very powerful person. It was very difficult for me, but at the urging of my friends and family who were telling me, like, this is not right, this is not how you're supposed to be treated, this is abuse.
Gadzhi has managed to avoid legal trouble, but the scams and deception allegations are piling up. Critics argue that his courses are glorified pay-to-play schemes, where success isn't about skill, but about how much money you're willing to pour in. More damning? Some ex-students claim that the real money in his business comes from upselling more courses rather than actually running agencies. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi both claim to be revolutionaries, mentors, saviors of lost men, but in the end they're just another version of the same old game. The game where the few at the top get richer, while those at the bottom chase a dream that was never meant for them. So who's the lesser evil? Maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the real question is, why do we keep falling for it? If you thought this story was wild, wait until you hear about the shocking downfall of the Onuha brothers. A rise to fortune, a web of deceit, and an ending no one saw coming. Click here to watch now.